So, what is happening, Metasites? I'm back with a video. Could not sleep, and I think maybe what I might do in the next few days, if I can't get my budget together, if anyone actually cares, I'm putting together a couple of videos, documentaries, but I'm doing this like in starving mode, starving artist mode. See, while other people are going to be going home to seeing their folks and eating cheesecake and putting presents under the tree and spending over $100 on either food, turkey, gasoline, so they can take their 4-hour trips over the river and through the woods, through ice and snow. To grandmother's house we go. My grandmother won't even talk to me. She hates me. Because I think maybe since the pandemic I've given her nothing but grief. And one time she didn't even bother to let me come in her house because she didn't want to get COVID, but that's a whole other story. I'm not even going to get into it. This is too sad. So the reality is that no, I don't have a perfect life right now. If anyone really cares. Of course, I had to beg people to help me, and yeah, I gotta be honest. You know what? There's a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, there's a lot of good people out there." Well, I'll believe it when I see it. I've trusted people this past year to help me, and people have talked about me. They gossip, but it doesn't matter. Honestly, what you believe. Like, okay, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus and the Bible, but there's a lot of people who are really fake people out there. I never once proclaimed to be anything that I'm not. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm a filmmaker. I went to film school. I dropped out of film school. Tried to start my own business. I had a studio. Yes, that's true. It was probably 4 times the size of this place. Cheaper too. The rent was cheaper. But I had to move uptown away from toxic neighbors, and just I was dealing with a lot of problems at the time. But that's a whole other story. But anyway, the point is that by this time, um, I wanted to find a good woman. They say, "Oh, where's all the good men gone?" I am. You know what? I am sick and tired of listening to that bullshit. Honest to God. If women actually believe that, they have not tried it hard enough, or they're too brainwashed. They're brain dead. They believe that feminism is the way to go. But all it's done was alienate them from the real men who have finally decided they've had enough. They had it up to here with their bullshit, so they moved out to overseas where they can find good women. Because now in the West, women, they're ruined. Women are still playing mind games with men. They're men are chasing women. It should be the other way around. Men are the real prize. And the social media and brainwashing with Instagram and women being hypergamous and expecting a man with a 6-figure income, they're living in a fantasy. I don't know what to tell people. I'm probably gonna go up in value because I know my channel is not growing. That's not because that I'm not good. There's good people out there that have been actually sharing the truth. YouTube's community guidelines prevents anyone from sharing such information like the COVID Kool-Aid jabs, and I cannot talk about it. I can't address it. I can't show facts and information. You'll have to go on to these other platforms such as BitChute, Odyssey, or Rumble, and well, yeah, YouTube is now just they're geared towards becoming Netflix 2.0 under the bill C11, which I can't I can't really talk about. You're just gonna have to Google it, do your own research if you want to. This is the age of information. I can't always be the person to hold people's hands through information they don't want to know. My grandmother, she doesn't understand. Okay, this is me getting a little bit personal, but I've got nothing left to lose. So, my grandmother and I, we've been fighting. I mean, not fighting, arguing. Anytime I bring this up, like, you got to get the groceries, Dan. You got to get your pantry stashed away with food. Okay. As a retired teacher, she thinks she knows it all. I mean, hold on. First of all, this was a piece of junk. I can't even have this under USB battery charge. You gotta get AAA's. It's not really mobile. But this thing, spent $10 on this. This little sign, which I found at the Winners, is like they sell decor and all that stuff. So there you go. There it is. You know, talking about teachers being they open up the mind, touch the heart, shape the future. Well, I got news for her. She destroyed lives because she refused to listen to me, to help me to get a couple of sandwiches or give me a few bucks so I can use that, take that money and put it into something like, oh, I don't know, maybe a documentary or a few video projects. My family, they don't give a darn. They don't care about that. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a true story. And this is going to blow your mind. And I swear to God, this is true. I can't get into the whole details, and I'm not going to name names. I forgive them because they didn't know what the frig they were doing. Just sometimes, you know what? Do you know that some people, they bear the weight or burdens of society more than other people? And I kid you not, I mean, I think that things happen for a reason, but I think I kind of messed up. I screwed up, I think, because I was this close to exposing something really big. I think what had happened, you see, I was working in a kitchen at the time. This was like going back last summer. And working in the kitchen with mostly immigrant workers. Not gonna say, okay, he's raised. No, I'm not. I just saying it is what it is. Taking whatever work I could get. I was trying to build a documentary because I was documenting what had happened, the facts about COVID, and what I discovered about the Kool-Aid jabs. You know, if people don't understand what this is, they were dangerous. They weren't entirely safe. The RNA Kool-Aid jabs, even Dr. Robert Malone, he even stated that there was a risk involved. So, alright, I compiled up some footage, but I needed to get more money. And before I had enough funds to produce a higher production value documentary, I got fired. First of all, what had happened, you see, was I chose not to get the Kool-Aid. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I was the only one that actually, in fact, tried to warn people about it, tried to warn people against it. No one believed me. Nobody listened to me. And so what happened, I was fired. And this is where it gets interesting, okay? I better make this quick because the camera could shut off at any time, because it usually happens when I'm trying to make my point. And the point is that not long after I was let go from doing a cooking job, which I worked hard at, I didn't deserve to be fired, but this is what happened. The building, it burned down, and I believe that was an act of God. If anything, I didn't deserve to be let go because they didn't tell me the reason. I mean, usually they're supposed to tell you, and I think it was due to the fact that their policy, I guess their new policy, because you know what, after that, I couldn't find work. I came this close during a couple of interviews, but they required everybody to get the Kool-Aid shots. In order to work, to get employment, you had to take the shot, which I knew at the time, with all the information that was given to me, that I couldn't share on YouTube. I tried to warn them, but it's like that. So I knew I had some information. I just couldn't make a very big documentary. So yeah, if a couple of things happened a little bit differently, yeah, maybe it could have saved lives. I like to think I made a small difference because later people acknowledged some of the videos that I've done. They just weren't that big, you know. I wanted to be like a big filmmaker, and making documentaries was what I was trained to do. I went to film school, and I was given a lot of information. I tried to warn people as best as I could. Right now, I'm working on Channel 12, and this could be censored by tomorrow for all I know. So, yeah, I'm only getting a few followers. My meta sites, they don't even make any content. If they did, by this time, I would have probably been able to get ahead a little bit. And maybe that's why society is like geared towards competition more than helping out other people. I believe though that deep down I think I trusted the wrong people because maybe I don't know if it was jealousy or something. Maybe they just wanted me to work under their thumb. They thought that because I was donating something to them that they thought I was like a member. So it's like, okay, first of all, you treat me like crap and now you want me to be part of your. It's like quid pro quo. They wanted something from me. It's always like that. And this is the kind of treatment I got in the Christian community because some people are like, I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe it was a mistake to open up to these people because they knew they knew what was going on. That was probably the only real thing that we had in common because they were making videos. I make videos. It's like that, you know. And I thought that by this time I would have been able to find help either online or offline. Around here, nobody gives a crap. Nobody cares. My family, they sure don't. And you know what? I feel like I've dodged a bullet though. I've dodged a few bullets. There's only a very few percentage of people who are really like aware of what's going on. But you're never gonna really find those people on YouTube. Maybe BitChute. They're more alert to what's happening. Do you know that we came this? Okay. You know we came this close to full-out nuclear war, World War III. It's true. And what's happening in China and the CCP, and there's oppression in the East. I get it. They want to come over here to work, and that's why guys like us are trying to find work and have jobs. And we can't find work, so we can't get ahead. Where are all the good men gone? Well, same women who shunned these men years ago, and now these women are hurting and crying their eyes out because they can't find a good man. It's funny how that works, huh? It's like what goes around comes around. And I bet those same people that I've tried to reach out to in the past will be begging to come back to ask me for help. And you know what I'm going to say? I'll give them the same treatment as they've given me. No more, no less. Fair is fair. If I can't find a good woman, and I can't promise I can't do much if the time comes and if the world needs my help again. What am I going to be able? Honestly, what am I going to be able to do? Think about that. Think about that. Truth be told,